friends are gonna try to move your feet.
Good Friday morning, and welcome in all you lovely little coffee beans. And today, I'm happy. Why? Because my favorite is here with me. How you doing, Seth?
Hey, what's up, guys?
So you know when Seth's here, it's going to always be a good day, right? Because then that means Riv's always happy. So anyway, we're going to give the law cows a little bit of a break. We're not going to milk them this morning. I feel like that's enough milking's going on there. We're not going to be talking about any of the revelations that have come forth in the last 2 or 3 days with Mr. Beast. There's a lot more capable people to cover that's been covering the story from the get-go. And so I would encourage you to go and tune in to people like Chud Logic or Chris the Narc, Nerdy John, people like that's been covering that. They'll give you a whole lot better. So we're going to talk about something that I haven't really seen just a tremendous amount of people talk about. And I think it's something that needs to be highlighted. There is a creator that I think is very important to this space. And that's Coffeezilla. And we're going to talk about what's going on with him, a mistake that he made. And I think it's a very understandable mistake, but it's still a mistake nonetheless. And how you guys, if you are so inclined to do so, can help him. So that's what we're going to be discussing this morning. So before we get into that, Seth, is there anything that,
No, I was, full disclosure, I was supposed to watch his video last night, like, before bed. I turned it on, and then I just passed the fuck out. So.
Well, yeah, but, you're still kind of lagging a little bit from your holiday.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know about, maybe it's just me, but like when I go on a vacation or go on holiday or whatever, right? It's like you always have to have like a day or two to come when you get back, just to kind of get rushed up from the
online
vacation.
for sure.
Yeah.
Online for sure as well. Like, I gotta catch up because it's like,
Yeah,
there's just all this stuff that happens all the time, all so
Sure.
quickly.
And you were away. I mean, you'd unplugged. You were having a good little time. I mean, you was laying on the beach. You said you worked on your suntan. I mean,
Yeah, I worked on my tan, which I
That's
can't
right.
get, so I'm just a little bit red on the back of my neck,
did-
but that's about it.
So you're a redneck now. Welcome to the
I'm a
club.
redneck.
Welcome to the club. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, thank you. I always wanted to be a redneck.
Did you? Well, there you go. That's all a redneck is a guy that a person's been out, in the sun working all, and your neck gets a little bit suntanned and stuff. That's what a redneck is.
I thought there were like things like you had to be named like Trevor or Cletus,
No,
and
no. Well,
okay.
okay. So that was okay. So okay, a little bit maybe because it's South or whatever. Then you got the regional and family names and things like that. Sure. So anyway, but let's just get into this. Into this. And so the little meme I noticed, I'm not been. Purple usually takes care of all this kind of stuff for me, and Purple's been really busy here lately, and I've been sporadic. I think it's more my fault than anything, really. It's just been real sporadic. But anyway, I did go out and find a meme this morning, and that's kind of how I feel this morning. It's Friday. The coffee's ready. I'm energized. I'm ready to go. So let's get into it. So, Coffeezilla put out a tweet back on the 5th of the month, 4 days ago, kind of alluding, saying, I'm responding today to Logan Paul's lawsuit. And he put this out, and he put this little video out here to just kind of remind us about the whole situation.
Thank you, Coffeezilla. You have catalyzed this, and I am very grateful for your work and your investigation. And I mean that. Thank you, bro.
So if you guys remember, if we go turn back in time a little bit,
If you could turn back time.
Exactly. When Coffeezilla first put out his video on the CryptoZoo mess that it was, Logan really kind of came at him, was very confrontational, threw some really litigious, so he's going to sue him about it. And then he turned around after giving some time or whatever, maybe calmed down, cooler heads prevailed. I don't know what you want to call it. Anyway, he put out that video thanking Coffeezilla for, doing the research, outing these people, because then he started throwing everything at the feet of his partners in this and talking about how the partners were the ones that screwed all this up. It was not Logan. It was never Logan. Logan is blameless in this. He's a victim as well. And so forth. Time goes by. Logan finally agrees to take, I think it was like $1 million of his own to put in there to make good, to make whole fans of his and stuff that had invested in this CryptoZoo website and what have you, currency, whatever it was, to make them whole. I'm not for sure. The last I heard, I'll put it that way, the last I had heard that he had not been true to his word on that. He may actually have now put the money in there. I'm not for sure on that. I kind of lost the track on that one, or the path on that one. But irrespective, then on, let's see, when was this? 3 days ago. So this would have been on the 6th, the day after he put out that tweet. Coffeezilla put out this video. Now, before we watch this video, there is a thing that I want to do here. The link to Coffeezilla's merch store is in the description of the video down below, and it's coffeezilla.store. So before we get into this, I'm going to give a brief little thing of what happened. He put out a video on his second channel about this, explaining what happened. Coffeezilla had insurance, and it was legal insurance. And the insurance that he had was supposed to be protecting him if he was ever sued for, it has a fancy name, or it has a specific name or whatever, but the long and short of it is if he was ever sued for like defamation or that type of litigious endeavors, it was supposed to protect him. Unbeknownst to him, the company that he was paying, he said tens of thousands of dollars. They paid this company. They changed the I guess the fine print of the agreement, whatever, they changed the wording to where they no longer, if it was for defamation, that they, you didn't hear that, did you?
No, I didn't.
One of my posters just fell.
Oh no.
Evidently, my command strip gave up the command. I'll deal with it later. But anyway, so they had changed what they would actually cover in the lawsuit, or if a person was sued, and so now he had $1 million worth of legal insurance that is no longer able to be tapped. Right. So now that this lawsuit, and you have to understand, Logan Paul has money, wheelbarrows full of money, from his WWE contract, from his prime drink deal that he has. Logan Paul has got money, right? Coffeezilla.
I mean, he's like an actual like multi-millionaire.
Multi-millionaire, correct?
Yeah, he's like actual fucking scumbag rich person, you know?
Exactly. And so now Coffeezilla, I'm sure he's not destitute, but when you get into these legal battles, they can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And Coffee, I'm sure, doesn't have just hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And so anyway, Coffeezilla is doing a limited run merch that you can get. They've got one here that's got a little cat head, digital looking cat, and then one on the back says, "I'm suing." He's got another one here where it's got the little robot that he has in his videos. They're standing out there waiting for the refunds. Again, I'm assuming that's alleging towards the whole crypto thing. So I would the CryptoZoo, and so I guess I'm kind of inferring from that maybe that they really haven't had refunds. Anyway, there's different designs, different logos, things like that. Of course, different prices, long sleeve and short sleeve. You have until the 19th to get your orders in, because that's when they'll be doing a print and the shipping stuff will take place. So, he said that any and all proceeds from this will go into, if for some reason they're able to resolve this lawsuit without whatever, any monies that he makes from this will go into a legal defense fund for him, that he will keep it and will only be used for this lawsuit or any lawsuits going forward that he is potentially facing. I would encourage, I don't normally do this as far as it's really anymore. I don't do it anymore. I'm going to get a Coffeezilla shirt myself. I'm not for sure exactly which one yet. I'm flopping back and forth on a couple of the different designs. I'm going to support the man. I think Coffeezilla is a very important creator in this space, and I believe we need to do everything we can to try to keep him here, because he keeps people honest. One of the persons that he did most recently was who? Boogie 2988 and his little cryptocurrency nonsense, right? So I think Coffeezilla is important in this space, and I would encourage, if you've got a couple of bucks laying around, extra money, don't take anything that's going to take away from your grocery budget or anything like that. But just basically, if you've got to help the guy out, and like I say again, the link is down below in the description of the video, but I will also link it here in chat right now as well. So like I say, if you're so inclined, you got the extra money, consider doing that. But anyway, let's get into this video where he goes through this. I'm going to crank this up a little bit on the playback speed to about 1.5. But let's get into it.
Is suing me for CryptoZoo only a year after he thanked me for it. Rather than pay back his victims fully, Logan would rather publicly humiliate himself in court by accusing me of defaming him. He's hired 5 lawyers to sue me, which he hopes will stop me from exposing him again. You see, only hours before this lawsuit was filed, I had reached out to Logan Paul about a new investigation into one of his companies, which has just been accused by the Canadian government of being a multi-layered fraud in Canada.
So see, why is this? Is it because of the original? No, not at all. He's trying to get him to shut up and not talk about this new alleged. Now, I don't. What's the proper word here, Seth? You have the legal mind. What's the malfeasance?
Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about it yet.
Okay, well, we'll play a little bit. But he's basically, Coffeezilla is investigating another one of Logan Paul's businesses that's in Canada that is under investigation for being a multi-tiered
Marketing scheme.
Marketing scheme. So
Okay.
I obviously had questions.
Well, yeah, that would be work malfeasance, I guess.
okay.
But before I was able to get answers, Logan's team of lawyers showed up to silence me. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to go through this lawsuit. I'm going to tell you how to support us if you want, because while I didn't think I'd need help, I was wrong. But before we get to my mistake, let's start with Logan's. This lawsuit is not about Logan Paul getting defamed. Instead, this is about him trying to dodge accountability, victims, and blame anyone but himself for his problems, especially me. This lawsuit says Logan Paul wants to hold me accountable for my actions. But what actions are those? Holding him accountable? It's ironic because his lawyers claim Logan has learned to believe in the importance of accountability. But accountability for who? Currently, Logan is fighting the victims of CryptoZoo in court, and now he's fighting the journalist who exposed him in the first place. Personally, I believe Logan has learned nothing from this except how to silence people with the law. But I won't be silenced because Logan's lawsuit makes no sense. We're gonna go through it because from the beginning, there's problems. Logan's 5 lawyers tried to discredit me as a journalist. They paint me as someone who wanted money. They say I had a false and malicious narrative. But you know who doesn't believe that? You know who secretly praises me behind the scenes?
This journalist, YouTuber, crypto uncoverer guy named Coffeezilla, who's incredible, by the way. A very thorough, good-hearted, smart guy, did a deep dive into this project that I attempted to make called CryptoZoo.
That's right, it's Logan Paul. He's the biggest.
So, I mean, can you imagine showing up in the court and the lawyers are alleging all these things and their own client is singing the praises of the guy that
So
they're
yeah,
suing?
the person.
Yeah, that's kind of
I mean, that's definitely. I mean, it doesn't. The thing is, like, depending on the lawsuit, it doesn't really prove anything, I suppose. But it definitely, it's. I would think very differently about someone who does that.
well, I would too, right? But again, cards on the table here, as they say. I'm biased. I don't like Logan Paul. There's no beating around the bush. I just don't like Logan Paul. I think he's a very just poor excuse for a human being. I think he's over his career. He's done some really horrible things, and I don't.
You know what? I think that's true, but I don't see like complete inhumanity in him.
But
Is that weird to say?
No, I don't think so. But I'll ask you a question, right? Because you don't necessarily dislike Logan Paul, right?
No. I actually
Okay.
quite like Logan Paul. I'm gonna
Okay.
be real with you.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I question your taste, but that's fine. You're entitled to your taste. Do you think that Logan Paul has matured or grown any at all since the incident in the Japanese forest?
Yes, for sure. Like
You think he
miles
has?
of growth. I think so. I think there's miles of growth.
Okay. I'll give you this. He may have grown, but it was in the wrong direction. How about that? Because it sure
I
wasn't
don't think.
maturing.
I don't. I think there was a long while where he kept his head down and he just did good shit.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
I'm not kidding you, dude.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I'd still, I mean, I think if, I think Coffeezilla is smart enough man that he's got his I's dotted and his T's crossed, right? And I think that if they show up to court, if this goes to trial.
The sad truth about that kind of stuff, though, people, is that it's not always the person who's right who wins.
I understand that. And another thing is it's not always about trying to get money out of the other person or necessarily to prove that you're right and they're wrong. Sometimes it's done as, like Coffeezilla here says, it's used as a means,
a tool to silence someone.
To gag a person, to keep them from saying things. And more times than not, that's exactly what it is. Right? Now, I don't know where all this is going on, and I don't know if Coffeezilla's lawyers can just do what is it called, a slap? Where they follow?
It's a slap, SLAPP suit, so whatever.
Yeah, it's basically saying that there's no merits here, and this just needs to be.
Yeah, I think it's strategic lawsuits against public participation.
Yeah.
So it's not just for like this particular.
Yeah.
It's not just for free speech to silence someone, but it's just like to keep them out of certain things. Like
it's basically saying it's like there's. In layman's terms, to me, what it means is this lawsuit is frivolous and it has no merits, and basically it's a waste of the court's time to even allow this to go through the court system.
Not exactly. It's just basically saying you're obviously doing this just to hinder someone's First Amendment rights. So we're just not going to let that go through.
Okay. Anyway, let's continue on here.
Biggest enemy of Logan Paul's defamation case. Who knew? Because defamation requires actual malice and a reckless disregard for the truth. But he just admitted on camera that I am thorough and good-hearted. Maybe that's why he wanted to remove that video from the internet, according to the YouTuber who released it.
The only issue that was ever communicated was remove this crypto stuff, remove this CryptoZoo stuff. If CryptoZoo is in there, Coffeezilla's in there, I'm not going to promote it.
Yeah, remove that CryptoZoo stuff, that Coffeezilla stuff. Doesn't look good when you compliment the guy you're trying to sue. Maybe that's why Logan isn't even suing me for my original investigation at all, despite most of this lawsuit being a ridiculous fanfic about how I took Logan out of context, that Logan was a victim, that I withheld text messages. Logan isn't suing me for any of the... So he
is suing him for defamation?
Yes.
Is that him?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's not based, what you're going to see here, Seth, it's not based on the videos that he did, the 3 videos that he did. It's not about that at all. It's about, you ready for this? It's about for like 1 or 2 tweets that Coffeezilla put out. That's it.
Okay, interesting strategy, Mr. Paul.
Yeah, and he's grown. By your own words, Seth.
I think
he's a different man. He's grown. He's matured. He's
listen,
being an adult.
Let's be fucking honest. Okay, this is not his choice. He just went to someone and said, "Hey, I want this to go away," and then someone's like, "Yeah, we'll sue his 2 tweets, whatever."
Yeah, you know what? You know how it goes away? Is he's a man of his word, right? Because he's grown, he's matured. And the man of his word was he was going to make these investors, these fans of his that invested in this scheme, right?
Yeah, but
he didn't do that.
Yeah, obviously. Okay, I'm not saying he's a good guy. I'm just saying, like...
And here's the thing, too, right?
He kept his teeth clean for a while, and I respected it.
Okay, and here's the deal. I'm not one of these guys that are into eat the rich. I'm not. If a person's rich, I'm happy. Whatever. Go do your thing, right? But in this situation, when you are a celebrity or even a YouTube celebrity or whatever you want to label what Logan Paul is, and you have the resources at your disposal, right? And you whether through ignorance or whatever, you find out that you were a part of and promoted and participated, irrespective if you made any money off the deal or not. But your name, your brand was part of this thing, and it turns out to be a scam, and your fans supported and bought into this. And it's going to cost you, say, a couple mil, 3 million, whatever it was, to make these people whole, to make these fans whole. How much money have you made off of these fans over the years from them watching your videos, for them buying your products that you put out?
For sure, for sure. Like he's
What
obviously
is that
not.
cost? What is that cost in relationship to your brand or your name or your reputation? What is that? What is that
Okay,
value?
listen, it's honestly, the thing is, it's nothing because his fans are like incredibly brain dead anyway.
But you're a fan. Does that
So
mean you're incredibly brain dead
I
too?
I wouldn't say I'm a fan.
Are you?
I like him, but I don't like go around watching his content or supporting him in any way.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. And listen, here's the deal. I'll give Logan Paul. I've seen some of his wrestling matches that he's done in the WWE. He is a phenomenal athlete, and he is a phenomenal entertainer in that
He's a good
capacity.
showman, yeah, sure.
Yes,
I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
if you look at Jake Paul and Logan Paul, just the way that they act, like,
I don't see any difference
I-
personally, but
I personally see a complete difference. I think
Do you?
Jake Paul, he's like publicly like an ogre. He's like
yeah.
a
Okay.
fucking
All right, so I will give you that. All right, Logan is a little bit better polished turd, but he's still a turd.
yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll give you that. Right, but they're still both turds. Logan's just a little bit more polished about it. That's it.
Yeah.
Original
sure.
investigation, though,
Okay,
because he
that's
knows
fine.
he can't. Instead, at the end of the lawsuit, we find what my defamation really is. I'm being sued for 2 videos and 1 tweet where I advocated for refunds for the victims. Yes, you heard me right. Logan Paul sued me after I tried to get his fans, the CryptoZoo investors, a full refund. Remember, there are 2 parts to CryptoZoo, the NFTs and the Zoo tokens, and Logan chose only to refund the NFTs, which is a minority of the losses, and I had a major problem with that. I told Logan this. I've stated over and over my opinion that it is disappointing for someone as rich as Logan to not make things fully right, and instead only pay back a small part of the losses while fighting the rest of the victims in court. And it's those videos and tweet where I ask for refunds, which I'm being sued for. The first video in question is about Logan Paul not paying out refunds for 6 months. The second video was about Logan's partial refund, having a clause to make sure you couldn't sue him for the rest of your refund. And the tweet, I simply said, Logan's the type of guy to thank you for exposing a scam and block you when you remind him to pay up. I mean, yeah, now he's the type of guy to then sue you. Now, I'm sure Logan doesn't like it when I say things like Logan's victims or Logan's scam, but I have a question. If they're not Logan's victims, whose victims are they? Even Logan admits they are victims. He told me via text, just thought we had the same goal of helping victims instead of a divisive social media war. So he agrees people have been wronged by his game. You know,
Again, like I said, I understand we're being presented from Coffeezilla's viewpoint, right? So we're getting one side of the story. You know what I'm saying? And Coffeezilla does a very good job of presenting receipts.
I don't know. I can't imagine like a situation where Logan Paul is right for this. Like he's definitely in the wrong.
Sure. I think that is.
But I also do think it might not be like completely malicious. He might just genuinely like. Imagine if he was like thinking about how can I make all of this right, and then this guy keeps going.
Okay, so let me ask you.
I would have
okay.
probably been
All
like,
right,
"Shut
listen.
the fuck up."
All right, listen. I'm going to do my best to not just be a complete and total Logan Paul hater here, right? And I'm going to give the man that.
Well, no, you should be a Logan Paul hater.
Okay.
That's why I'm here to be. I'm the Logan fan.
So here's the deal. If we go on your train of thought there, right, that he was blindsided by all this and he did not know that you know he didn't.
I don't think that's true. By the way,
Okay.
I'm just saying.
So let's say that Logan Paul did not do his due diligence, and that he did not do a deep dive into who he was going into business with. Let's just say that they razzle-dazzled him. They danced. They jingled this in front of him, and he's seen money. He's seen dollar signs. He's seen an opportunity to increase his wealth. Right, that's what he saw, and he leapt at that opportunity. Which I have zero problems with people trying to increase their bag and make money. I am a capitalist through and through. Seth will tell you, I am about personal growth as far as wealth and all that. I have no problems with that.
Yep.
Zero. But that being said, I want you to do it morally and legally correct. And that means you have to do due diligence of who you're getting into bed with, business-wise,
I mean,
Right.
especially because here's the deal, right? If you're like an like low time like person who's just making like a couple $100 a month or like a couple thousand, whatever,
Yeah.
there's less so pressure because like you are in need of money. Like
Yes.
you're not a fucking multimillionaire. Like Logan
Yes.
Paul had all the money in the world. I don't know why
Yes.
the fuck he thought that this was like he needed this.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a rush job because
Yeah.
he needed the money, you know?
And the thing of it is and here's the thing.
To be fair, we don't know about his financials, but
No.
like just looking at the basic income
Okay.
of like what he gets just from the impulsive podcasts, like views and shit.
All right.
He would never starve for anything.
Okay. Okay. But let's look at his deals with Prime. He's co-owner of Prime with KSI, right?
Which has become just like an actual like outside brand now. Like everyone's fucking drinking Prime.
All right.
So yeah, he's probably
It is
probably making just like millions a day from that shit.
Listen.
Let's be honest.
It is the official drink of the UFC.
Yeah.
You cannot turn on and watch a WWE program without Prime being everywhere. Right? The amount of monies that company alone is generating for Logan, we're talking about, this is a generational wealth thing. His kids will not be able
And
to.
depending on how stupid his kids are gonna be considering.
Well, okay, sure. But what I'm saying is this. Logan Paul has allowed a mosquito to continue to buzz around his head, continuously bite him, when it was just as easy to throw whatever it was, $1 million, couple of million, $3 million, whatever it was, which is nothing to him. Now, I understand, to you, to me, to anybody watching this podcast, $1 million, or even, and the thought of $2 to $3 million is just unfathomable. But to a man with this type of wealth, right? To a man with this type of wealth, that's literally walking around pocket change.
Yep.
Right? He could have settled this so quickly and easily by just simply paying those people out, shutting that program down, that site, website, everything, just walking away from it, paying people off, and just being done with it. But that's not what he did. He, and you'll see this because Coffeezilla, if we get to it or not, but Coffeezilla discusses about how Logan, in his, I don't know if you, in his hubris, in his stiff-neckedness, being stiff-necked, just hard-headed, whatever you want to call it, was bound and determined to do two things: to prove Coffeezilla wrong, right, and to shut him up about it, and two, to get that website up and going and to do, to do his thing, right? And what did he do? Wind up doing? The website's still not functioning. The zoo, whatever it is, token thing, whatever, is not working, and so his only other option was try to shut up Coffeezilla from talking about it. So anyway, let's continue on with the video.
The thing that he said will earn you money.
It's a really fun game that makes you money.
So how are these not Logan's victims? He, of course, would say it's his business partner's fault. But remember, Jake and Eddie have been out of the picture for years. And yet, CryptoZoo hasn't been released, despite Logan constantly promising it, and of course, also threatening to sue me.
We're gonna handle this ourselves while we continue to build CryptoZoo, and I'll see you in court. By the time this comes out, it'll be done. The game's gonna be made. You're gonna have the opportunity to get your money back if you want, if you don't want to play the game. And I'm gonna take care of the people who made me look like this was a scam perpetrated by me.
Right. Logan wants to sue me and release a finished CryptoZoo game, but he's only done one of those. Since Logan can't blame his partners, Jake and Eddie, for this because they've been out of the picture, do you think he'll take accountability for not launching CryptoZoo? No. This time, he blames the government. He says releasing CryptoZoo has too many regulatory hurdles. Maybe they should have thought of that before multi-millions of dollars of zoo tokens and eggs were sold. And now Logan would rather blame the government than take accountability. Or if you let him keep talking, Logan might rant about internet reporters having too much responsibility.
These internet journalists, internet investigative reporters have way too much responsibility on their hands that is being mismanaged and wielded in a really inappropriate way.
It's honestly funny to watch this guy whine about his problems, which you can barely hear over what sounds like a private jet. Which brings me to another problem Logan has. Part of any defamation case is damages, and proving someone has harmed your reputation. But isn't Logan richer than ever with Prime? And did he have a reputation to harm? His lawsuit shows comments calling Logan a scammer, possibly to suggest he's been hurt by my videos, but you have to have a reputation to lose one. And by the time of my reporting in question, Logan Paul was already accused of participating in multiple crypto pump and dump schemes.
So, as you see there, I don't know. I think that's a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe Coffeezilla has a right to do a little bit of a dig, but I don't think somebody, and I don't know how this is probably going to come across or whatever, but do you think it's actually feasible for somebody like Coffeezilla, or I'm not Coffeezilla, but for Logan Paul to fly in a commercial airlines? I don't think, I mean, I think with his celebrity status, and I know there are other, like, just as large celebrities that do fly commercial airlines, right? But I don't know what's up. Is my mic low again? Are you? Oh, come on, my mic is fine.
He's JFAing you, dude.
Victor Burns is sitting there trying to JFA me. Are you serious? Come on now, Victor. All right, I'll move a little bit closer to just for you, Victor. I'm okay. Is that better? Is that better? Can you guys hear me? Is it better now? Oh, it's low for you. Well, Victor, have you checked the batteries in your hearing aid? Maybe your batteries are
Yeah, I think that's it.
Is that? But anyway, so let me ask you a question, Seth.
Yeah.
Do you? Because Coffee, does a little dig there at Logan for riding on a private jet. Do you think that's?
I think he can do whatever digs he wants. I mean, digs are digs,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's unreasonable for you to want to fly, in a private, you get a straight flight versus commercial. I don't think that's, if you've got that resources or whatever.
I also think, I mean, considering like Logan Paul is one of the motherfuckers who's gonna get noticed in public all the time. Like going through an airport must be hell.
Yeah, well, that's possible. That's possible.
I think he's just well within his right to, like, take a little dig at him. He's suing him, for fuck's sake,
Sure. Well, okay, yeah, fair enough. I mean, I guess it's all fair games.
If someone's suing me, I'm gonna say way worse, which is probably not smart, but
well, okay. Well, I'm gonna turn my mic up even louder.
No, don't, dude. He's fucking with you. I listened to the spring. That's good.
Is it good? Okay,
that's good.
All right. So anyway, I don't agree. Okay, so I think Logan has a little bit of a point. I think there are some people that present themselves on YouTube as like journalists, and maybe they don't have the best morals or ethics. There's probably a few of them out there that have probably levied through some slings and stuff at not just Logan, but other creators or whatever, but Coffeezilla's not that dude. His reputation backs up his credibility. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, so I think that's just some coping. What is it? Some coping and molding on.
He's seething.
He's coping. He's coping, seething, and molding. Yeah. I think here. Do I have one? Let's see here. No, I don't have.
I mean, this is to me. I don't know if I'd say it's slap lawsuit. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I
what's
would.
in it.
Well,
I haven't looked at all of. I can't see the document, but
I would imagine just to try to minimize the cost to Coffeezilla, I would imagine his lawyers will probably try to do a slap, right? To try to,
Yeah, you got one guide again, dude. So, oh, that's hilarious. No, I don't think, having not seen anything, it's probably, I can't say for sure if it's a slap lawsuit or not, right? But like, I don't think Paul, like, he doesn't have any like ground to stand on. Like, how is he gonna show that Coffeezilla is malicious, and I'm sure that Coffeezilla genuinely believed everything he said, which is like, you have to do it just maliciously.
Sure. So let's I want to pause for this one guy. So yes, I got one guy the other day of all people, Putman. And I felt like Seth, did I not? I was like, I cannot believe I got Putman. Literally. I was just like,
you keep getting one guy that's hilarious, dude.
I guess so. Sure. Whatever, but I don't know. I mean, whatever.
You fucking, you were not made to be a streamer, dude. You just keep looking at that chat and like you're picking one comment.
I know. You know what, Rock? Well, we're going to take a little break here. Guess what we're going to do? Because I've got this to do here, right here. We're gonna have a little celebration here. How about that?
Oh hell yeah, dude!
Ooh, Reese got a membership. Kevin Z, Asmo, Mania Mank, or is it Mank? Dracula Moon. Yeah, there you go. So you five guys enjoy your membership for the month for free. There you go. You can. There's quite a bit of membership, or what do you call it, members only content that maybe you guys haven't seen. Some catalog stuff. Go check it out. I'm going to try to get back to where I'm doing some member stuff again. I've just got to try to figure out a schedule when to do it. That's my whole thing on that. So anyway, but let's get back to the video.
That article does not reference my work. So Logan had already had a reputation as a scammer before my investigation, at least if you believe their allegations. So this lawsuit from beginning to end is groundless, meritless, frivolous, and Logan knows that because behind the scenes, in clips, he didn't want to get out. He's saying I'm thorough and good-hearted. But in public, he wants to sue me, silence me, and cost me money, because that's the one department where we both know he's got me beat. We might have facts. We might even have evidence. But he's got all the money and the lawyers. And this is where I have to get to my one embarrassing mistake in all of this. See, my defense against rich people like Logan Paul is media insurance, for frivolous lawsuits. So when I was sued, I immediately called my insurance company to file a claim, so I wouldn't have to pay for it. But they told me they're not going to pay. They're trying to get out of covering us, using lawyers and fine print. It's a long story that I will be explaining on my second channel because insurance underwriting is very boring. But suffice to say, I got Dylan Danist. I may have even gotten scammed. I'm not quite sure. For now, the bottom line is we have to fight Logan with our personal funds, which means I need to ask for your support. If you want to help and are able to help, there are two ways to contribute to our fight against Logan Paul. One, you can join our Patreon, which supports the channel, or you can buy exclusive merch at Coffeezilla.store, where we just released the Coffeezilla defense drop. That's right, life hands you lawsuits, you get rejected by your insurance, make merch. So here's the deal. These shirts will be available for pre-order for only the next 14 days, and 100% of profits we make from selling them will go to this lawsuit. If for some weird reason there's money left over, it will be dedicated to future legal costs for this channel. I just want to let you know they're available, and it's a cool way to support the lawsuit while
Can
also
I
getting
just
something in
say,
return.
okay, this is definitely usually you remember like Ethan Klein and stuff. It was like fundraising, and sure there was like some gain or whatever. But like I do like that he's going completely like, like the traditional route where he's given you an actual service.
Yeah.
You're
getting something. He's saying, hey, look, don't just, whereas if people just gave to like a GoFundMe or whatever, they're just giving their money, right? Yes, it's a noble cause, like with Ethan Klein, because it was all about, the fair use, right? And FUPA and all that, right? But at the end of the day, and here's a sad thing about it. Yes, the court case set a precedent, right? But it did nothing to change, zero to change anything that happens. What do I mean by that? So if I do a video and if I use portions or parts of someone else's content in fair use, I transform it by doing commentary, over the video, whatever, and they decide to come in and say, no, you used my content, even a minute of it, you can't do that, it's copyrighted, and they file a DMCA, then I have to fight that.
Yeah.
So the whole FUPA thing with Ethan Klein and them, even though it set a precedent, it did not change
I mean, instead
anything.
of precedent in court is the thing,
Sure,
right? Like,
but you have to
for
get back to
YouTube,
court.
it's changed absolutely nothing.
Zero, right? So you still have to go. So, and I agree with Seth because, and this was I like the way Coffee is doing this because he's saying, listen, I need help. If you want to help, here's a way to help. And by the way, you're going to get something tangible that you can. And again, it's going to.
I mean,
rep
obviously,
his
like
brand.
if things go to an actual good cause, I don't mind
Sure.
just like having like a
Yeah.
like donation fund or whatever.
Sure.
But I do think it's like it shows his character that wasn't like his first thought. His first thought
Yeah.
is like, oh, let me actually like point you towards these actual services that'll give me money.
Sure.
I think that's nice.
And you get and of course it's going to rep his brand. So I mean, it's going to get his brand out there a little bit more, and people say, "Oh, I like your shirt." Well,
Yeah, but
well,
I'm
yeah,
sure
well,
he already
and that's-
had merch.
Sure. But what I'm saying is that the designs I think are cool, right? I think
Yeah.
they're cool designs. I'm going to stick my neck out here a little bit and say that the quality of the merch is probably going to be good quality as well, right? And like I said, again, if a person, and I think most people, especially the demographic that watches my content, they probably have a budget every month that they allow for like clothing and stuff, right? And sometimes you want to buy a nice shirt or whatever, or a nice blouse or whatever, to go out about on the town or whatever. But then you're occasionally going to buy shirts that you're just going to, wear to, like you're going to go out and grab a bite to eat, and it doesn't have to be dress up. You know what I'm saying? Dressy type thing. It can just be whatever. And this is like I've got like right now, right here, I'm wearing an SFTP shirt, right? I think I've got 3 or 4 of Tommy's shirts that I've bought over the years, right? I've got other ones as well. I've even got a tipster t-shirt, right? I don't wear it too often,
Oh, God.
but I've got a tipster back because it was one of the goth mommies t-shirts or whatever. I've got that one.
Oh my God, why would you do that?
For the
I get the-
memes, for the jokes,
Fine,
of course.
Fine.
I've even got an old Boogie t-shirt that was just horrible. The quality of it was, I got a whole video on that and that whole debacle mess that it was. Let's see, who else I've got a Nixie shirt that says boobs before noobs. Do I have no, I don't have a Maverick t-shirt. I'd never bought anything of Logan Paul's, and I will never buy anything of Logan Paul's for memes or otherwise. Let's see, who else do I have? I want to think there's another, of course, my own merch. Of course, I've got merch. I bought my own stuff, as well, because I always bought it to make sure the quality before I ever released it to the public, because I want to make sure that, how it turned out and looked and stuff. So I've got my own, my own merch and stuff as well. But no, I don't, I think it's fine. I think what he's doing, I agree with you. I think this is great. Right.
Yeah.
No, I never got a Muff Push t-shirts because they didn't have the shirts in my size, but I do have a Mush Puff coffee mug. I do have a lot of coffee mugs too, right? Like I got one from Nerdy John. I've got a coffee mug from my son, Nad Lad. I've got a coffee mug from not Log Owls. What is it? The Broadcast.
The broadcast.
I've got a coffee mug from the Broadcast. I've got several. Well, Victor,
I mean, I've got your mug.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, Victor, listen, guys, I don't hawk it really much anymore, but if you guys want, I still have merch for sale. Just hit the exclamation mark and then the word merch, and it'll bring up a link to my merch store. I haven't really done anything. It's the merch I always had. It's out there. So,
And it's nice quality because when I
yeah,
was in Canada, I got to feel some of your hoodies and stuff. And
yeah,
they're good
yeah,
quality.
yeah. Toxic. I got Toxic Piplup. Uh, he came to me wanting a hoodie, and I got him a hoodie. So, yeah. Listen, there's no pressure on anything. Listen, guys. I don't like talking about all this stuff, but it makes me uncomfortable. I guess would be the way because uh, if you want to buy merch or you want to send donations or tips or whatever you want to call it, I will just say this: it's appreciative. It's never ever expected, and I promise you that any monies that I get, it does go to a good thing, and it is not spent on me. How about that? I'll just put that way.
It's spent on my new podcast that I'm gonna open up, where I get like
Yes.
2 or 3 hookers to come to my flat, and I
Yes.
just have them rant.
That's right. I'm going to bankroll Seth's new thing where she's going to bring in women of the night, and she's going to embarrass them, and you exploit
I'm not gonna
them.
embarrass them.
You're going to
No,
exploit.
no,
You're going to.
but I
you're
am
gonna
gonna exploit them.
You're going to exploit them from views and money and become rich. So Victor says he would never buy any merch of you because you're.
Oh, that's good because I never make any merch. I'm so dead ass serious. Like the first time I streamed,
Yeah.
I had like a donation link or whatever, and I was like, no, I can't do this because like Trippy, because me and Trippy are good friends. He actually donated, and I realized I had it on, and I was like, ah, fucking hell, thanks Trippy, and then I turned it off because I was like, I don't know, when I have money, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna spend like $5 extra on? I feel like whoever gave me those $5 should just have those $5.
You know what? I'm right there with you. I don't need money. If I had been doing this back, say, 20 years ago and was able to generate some funds or whatever, hell yeah, I needed money. I was fucking hand to mouth, with the bills and the kids and got every penny, every little red cent I could have gotten, I would have taken back then, right?
No, there's just something so like selling out about it to me. I really just don't like it. Like, well, then again, if I was getting sued by Logan Paul, I'd probably make some merch.
Exactly. But here's the thing: I don't necessarily call it sell, and that's what I'm saying. I don't have a problem so much taking, or if people want to buy merch or donations or whatever now, because like I say, it doesn't go on me. I don't spend it on me. I give it goes to a good cause, and needs retro style merch, and he will have my credit card number and bank account instantly. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know that's kind of my stream set up as retro and stuff, 80s type thing. I know that. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'd have to commission artwork and everything. Oh yeah, well, I was 80s kids too.
I'll do it for free.
Well, here's the thing. I appreciate that, and you are a very talented artist. Maybe people don't know that, but Seth is a very, very talented artist. I would want to pay because I feel like that kind of helps the ecosystem within our.
I understand that, but like I've never ever taken money for any artwork.
Well, then that's why I couldn't. That's why I couldn't let you do it then, because if you wouldn't let me pay. So.
Okay, whatever. Point is, I think Coffee. I think it's nice that he actually chose to.
Yes.
Something tangible.
Yes. Guys, we're almost about halfway through the video. We're obviously not going to get through the rest of it because, again, I have a very short time window to do this kind of stuff of a morning. But what I'm going to really encourage all of you that are watching live and the ones who are going to come back and watch the VOD later in the day, two things. One, go watch the video and get the rest of the information that Coffee shares with us in this. Two, if you have extra money in your budget right now, and whatever, really strongly consider purchasing some of his merch to help him in this, because I don't want this man having to be run. I don't want his voice to be silenced, I guess would be the way to put this. I think his voice is an important one to have in this space.
Yeah, for sure.
That's something else I can say there. Seth,
Yeah.
is there anything else going on that you'd like to tell the people about?
Shit. I feel like I should have had something really funny to come out of the woodworks with right there, but I don't have anything.
That's you don't have to have something funny every time.
I
You
I
don't.
I, I feel like I should. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You really put me on the spot there. You're an asshole. I'm
I
exposing
am.
you and suing you for that.
Would you please?
Yeah.
It's been what 5-6 months since I've been canceled. Yeah, I think I'm due for another canceling. Let's get that going. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not actually gonna cancel you because that's
Oh,
too much work.
That's
and
too
I'm
much
lazy.
work.
Get someone else to do it.
Oh me. So but anyway, guys, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, a lot of stories that are going on.
We should did we
Yeah.
mention though that Tommy did end up getting paid by Keem? Keem ended up
Well,
bending the knee.
okay, hang on.
We should mention that.
Hang on. Allegedly, there's been
Allegedly.
there's been a statement saying that he's going to pay Tommy the money that Tommy is rightfully owed, but that money has not entered into Tommy's grasp yet. So hopefully the money will be paid to Tommy. But after what I witnessed with my own 2 eyes and ears last night, the only thing I can call is a cope stream,
Yeah.
molding and coping to the exponential levels.
I will say this, if Tommy just lets it rest now,
Yeah.
I'll think he'll get the money. And I think Tommy is smart
Yeah.
enough to know that.
Tommy, that's one thing I want to, I don't know if I've talked about this publicly so much, but what I will say is this. I was around when the baited thing happened. And I know there were some people out there like Versed that said that I didn't, no, my point was with the whole, the Zoe Burger little segment that I had in my stream the other day, was showing, improving that even back then that Keemstar would drama mill. That's it. He would, that's it. And yes, I do believe it's that whole segment that caused some major arguments and stuff, in with the original trio of that podcast, whatever. But, Tommy has grown and matured and has gained a lot of wisdom in the 8
I don't
years
even know,
since that happened.
dude. I gotta say, obviously I didn't know him way back then, right?
Yeah.
But Tommy has always just been incredibly when it comes to some of this stuff, figuring out what people do, he's just so strategic about it. And I think that
Yes.
he did this. He did this the perfect way. that
Well,
he could.
okay, so let me quantify a little bit more when I said the grow and mature. There's no doubt in my mind, and I think you saw how Tommy was not a happy camper when Keem said he wasn't going to pay him, right?
Yeah,
he was irate, he was indignant. The difference was how he handled that anger, right? He didn't go off the handle. He didn't go and do all the like what he did back when Baited broke up. He handled it in a mature way. There's a right way and a wrong way when a person is mad, how they go about a situation, how they handle it. They don't allow their anger to control them. They control their anger and they channel it in the right direction. And that's what Tommy did. Tommy handled this situation, in my opinion, right, which is worth nothing, but in my opinion, I agree, Seth, he handled it perfectly. he played this situation out like a Stradivarius. He just, and how do we know this? Is the fact that Keem is still coping and mauling and wants to claim how he was scammed. He wasn't scammed. The man worked. You owe him for a job that he did. You pay your debts. It's that simple.
Yeah, I cheers all. I think he deserves that money, and I hope he's getting that money. But that's all.
I will say this. I think that if Keem, and I think Keem will be a man of his word. I think he's obviously, it's giving him a case of the red ass, which I'm okay with that being too, because I think Keem deserves a little red ass every now and then, honestly. But I do believe that Keem is a man of his word, and he's given his word that he's going to do this, and I think he's going to do it. And
yeah,
I have no doubt about that. I do believe Keem is a just man. And I do think he has morals. I think he has morals and ethics.
I do not think so, but
okay.
No,
Well,
whatever.
All right. Then what do you call it if he stands by his word? What would you call that if you don't think that's morals and ethics?
It's not morals and ethics, like just keeping your word.
You have to have some sort of morals, some sort of ethics. If you don't have morals or ethics, then your word
Yeah,
means
but I mean,
nothing,
he's still
right?
like, that's the thing is like, what do you say, like that he has? You can't say he has morals and ethics because, like, sure, he's keeping his words on paying him, but he still fucking lied throughout the whole situation.
Okay,
You know?
so listen. Okay, all right, fine. But what I'm saying, his morals and ethics don't align with my morals and ethics. Did he continuously lie, whatever? To him, no, because that's his perspective. It's not the right perspective. It is a judged, it is a blinded perspective because he's not wanting to see the truth for what it is, right? Because even when and this whole thing, here's the deal. When Keem's stance and stuff was based upon, well, Boogie says that Tommy da. I wouldn't believe one word that fat bastard said about anything. If he told me the sky was blue, I would question it. If Boogie states the sky is blue, I would question it being the truth. Now I want to qualify something else. Keem was talking about how, well, even he even told Nick Dior. No, what he said was to Nick, and Nick clarified this, was Tommy was not happy how the editor, and I'm probably just not going to say his name right, Paltris or whatever, was being treated.
Polar Sentinels.
Polar Pencils or whatever, how he was being treated. Because Tommy was seeing the pattern about how each and every it just went from one person to the next. Keem would set his target, and he would go. Sometimes it was Tommy, sometimes it was Connor, sometimes it was Polar Pencils, sometimes whatever that editor was there for a little bit, whatever. The bottom line is Keem would go from person to person, right? And Boogie was going to go along with whatever, as long as it wasn't Boogie that was being targeted at the time. Because Boogie doesn't have a spine. He's, that's just who he is. And he was, and Tommy was just getting tired of it. And he was like, he was talking to Nick, as friends do when they're in a situation, they're just tired of it. Like, man, I'm really thinking, well, it's just not worth it. And Nick's like, no. You got to stay through because this is fixed to happen. It's going to be like one of the internet's biggest moments. And that's what friends do. They encourage their friends to stick it out. Say, no, there's going to be a whatever, just whatever. So for Keem to try to use that, like it was a got you type thing to prove, it proved nothing. So, because how long has Keem been sitting there talking about how I'm quitting, I'm not going to be out the camera no more, whatever. And now he's going to be there indefinitely. He said he's going to be there indefinitely. Right? So, anyway,
I do have a palate cleanser for us turned on if you want.
Is it as good as the one we got the other day from Gigi? Because it's going to be hard to top that one.
Well, this one, I don't know if it's as good, but it's classic.
It's classic. If it's one of them stupid cooking mattress thing, oh well, yeah,
Oh, it's
yes. No, this you're right. This is a classic. This is a classic.
Yeah,
Okay, we can do this. We 100% can do this.
it's a classic, and
It is a classic. That is very good. That was a good deep cut there, Seth. Good job.
yeah, it was a good palate cleanser.
That was a very good palate cleanser. And it may possibly even have surpassed the one that Gigi brought us the other day, you know?
I don't know about that.
I don't know. That one was, I mean,
I was gonna send that. But I couldn't. I didn't have the link.
oh, that one I'm afraid is going to be oh, poor Gigi. She's never gonna live that one down, is she?
Well, she could just. I mean, it's an easy fix. She could just like become funny. I don't know.
Well, that'd be like me trying to become funny. I'm not funny. So, funny looking, maybe, but not, you know. So.
Well, I mean, you never ever showed me a video like that where I've just like questioned your sanity.
Well, thank you for that. I'll take that. So anyway, listen, Seth, I normally, you know, people what they're doing or what's going on, whatever, but you really don't do any streams or anything anymore.
I don't know.
I
don't know, people.
Are you saying there might be something you might be teasing?
I might be cooking.
Maybe
Let's just
cooking?
say I'm cooking. I'm in the kitchen cooking.
You cooking? All right. Well, maybe we'll get some good Seth cooking, because I personally would be a huge supporter of anything that you cooked.
All right, yeah. It might not be something any of you guys are into, but I do be cooking. So.
Well, if you're into it, I'm into it, because I support, you know, I support
Okay.
you. I support you because you're my favorite, right? So, anyway.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, hey, listen. Guys, I think that's going to be it for the day. I appreciate all of you guys turning in this morning. Remember to go check out the rest of Coffeezilla's video. Support him if you can through buying his merch to help him through this nonsense that he's having to go through with Logan Paul. Again, only if you've got the extra money. Don't be spending money that you need to buy, you know, diapers or groceries or whatever with. But if you had to give up maybe a couple of energy drinks in a week or whatever, that would not necessarily be a bad thing either. But anyway, if you got
It goes to a good cause, you know.
Yeah, if you got the money to support him, we appreciate it. Seth, as always, my dear, thank you so much for co-hosting me. You know that chair.
It's a pleasure, always, or anytime.
Yeah, that chair is there. Anytime you want to hop in it, it's yours. It's got a little sign that says reserved for Seth, and no one can ever sit in that chair but you. So,
I know.
All right. Well, listen, you everybody take care, have fun. It's Friday. Yay, we survived a week. And remember, guys, to keep your powder dry.
Powder dry.
And look for me in the funny papers. Bye-bye.
You guys are